In today's video, I'm checking out a new pair of headphones, and it's these DT 1770 Pro MkIIs from Beyerdynamic. I'm a long time user of Beyerdynamic headphones. My first ever set of studio cans was a pair of DT 250s back when I was a teenager. I've got a few sets of DT 100s knocking around the studio here for when I'm tracking with artists, and these DT 770 Pros have been my main pair of reference headphones for the past 10 to 15 years. Last month, Polar UK got in touch with me to ask if I'd be interested in checking out the new DT 1770 Pro MkIIs. Full transparency, Polar did send me these headphones out through the post and asked me if I'd do a review, but all opinions are my own. If after watching this video you're interested in grabbing your own pair of DT 1770 Pros, then please go and check out Polar UK's website. I've linked it in the description below. Before making this video, I really wanted to put these headphones through some real world tests. I've used these headphones in all kind of environments over the past month or so. Here in the studio for checking headphone mixers when I've been tracking, and also as reference headphones when I've been mixing. I've also used them with my laptop on the go when I've been editing. I've used them for live sound, just to monitor what's going on. And I've also used them for pleasure, plugging them straight into my phone when I wanted to listen to some tunes. This is a bit of a spoiler, but I'm genuinely impressed with these headphones. They're great. They've worked so well for me in lots of different scenarios. So let's do a little unboxing and then we'll get into it. Let's pop this box open and see what we've got inside. So as soon as you open it, on top here, a little Beyerdynamic insert. Thought it might be some instructions, but just a little glossy bit of logo paper. Inside the box, we have got a Beyerdynamic hard carry case. This is really cool actually, a nice little case to keep them in. So let's just move this out of the way. Let's pop open this Beyerdynamic case and see what we've got inside. Okay, so sitting on top we've got the headphones themselves. Nice little mirrored model number on the side there. Some really soft velour ear pads that feel like they're going to be pretty comfortable. And then we've got a faux leather headband on it. No cable coming out of these, so that's detachable. That's a great little feature. I love it when things are replaceable. But on first look, they seem like really sturdy and like they're gonna last and stand up to the test of time. Let's see what else we've got in this case. So we have got some replaceable ear pads. These are more of a faux leather material. Personally, I really like this velour stuff. The velour's always been my favourite material on the ear pads on just the standard 770s. I find it really comfortable. But yeah, you've got these faux leather ones if that's what you prefer for your comfort. And that seems to be it for our headphones, but there's a little pouch here, so let's have a look what we have got inside of there. So a couple of little bags in there. Okay, so looks like we've got curly cable for the headphones. Okay, so the cable for these headphones is a mini XLR. If that were to get pulled in a session or anywhere else, then you can get a replacement part easy enough. Also, with it being a mini XLR, means you can make up your own headphone leads if you want to. Maybe you need an extension, that's pretty handy. And then we've got another headphone lead here as well. So I assume the curly one is a shorter cable and then this is a longer cable. So that's really handy actually. To round up what you get in the box then, so you've got the headphones themselves that come with these velour ear pads. You also get some extra faux leather ear pads in there. 2 cables for the headphones with mini XLRs, so you've got a shorter curly cable and then you've got the longer straight cable. Then of course this Beyerdynamic case to keep everything together and to keep those headphones clean when you're chucking them in your bag. I really like this box actually, I think that's a nice touch. So let's get into it. The new DT1770 Pro Mark IIs and the classic DT770 Pros are definitely related, but they're quite different beasts when it comes to considering them for studio work. First of all, let's talk sound. The DT770s are classics, but they have a scoop sound, so they've got a boost in the low end, a boost in the high end, and that mid-range has got a bit of a dip in it. This makes them sound exciting for tracking sessions, whether that's guitars, drums, or anything loud really. But because of that scoop, they're not the most neutral sounding headphones. Over the years, I've used the 250 ohm versions of the classic DT 770s, and at the minute I'm using these 80 ohm versions for the simple reason, as well as using them in the studio, I also like to use them with my laptop for editing. But what I've found with this 80 ohm version is that the low end can sometimes be a little bit too boomy and appear overhyped if you're trying to mix on them. So how do these compare to the DT1770 Pros, especially this Mark II version that is totally different to the Mark I that came before them? These Mark II headphones use a totally different driver to the Mark I model. This new model uses a smaller Tesla 45 driver, which massively improves clarity. The smaller drivers have less harmonic distortion, and they also have a lower impedance, which is great because it makes them so useful in lots of different environments. The most common DT770 Pros that you used to find were the 250 ohm version, and the issue with those was they required a headphone amp that was capable of driving them. As these new headphones have such a low impedance, they work in so many different scenarios. They can be driven in the studio by a studio quality headphone amp, you can use them with laptops, or you can use them with mobile phones, and they sound great. These Mark II sound much tighter and controlled in comparison to my old DT770 Pros, but the bass is still there, it's full and it's weighty. What I have found is that the mids are more forward and natural in these headphones, which gives you much more reliable mix information, and that's really great for placing vocals in a mix and also providing you with a good reference of what things are going to sound like across other playback systems. The highs are crisp and detailed, but they don't suffer from the harshness that you sometimes find with the classic DT770s. In all honesty, I've never really relied on headphones for referencing when I'm mixing. As you can see behind me, I mix on ATCs day to day, which are an incredible sounding speaker and are known for their detailed mid-range. So I've never really grabbed my classic 770s as a referencing tool when I've been mixing. However, over the past month I've found myself grabbing the DT1770s more and more. When I get to the end of a mix session, I'll grab them just to give me a different picture of how things are sounding, and because they aren't super scoops like the classic 770s and are a bit more neutral in that mid-range, there's not this huge difference from going from the monitors to the headphones. So if you're making mix decisions or listening to things critically on a daily basis, I think the DT1770 Pro Mark IIs are a much more trustworthy headphone. Beyerdynamic have always been great with build quality, and whether you're using classic headphones or whether you're using some of their newer models, they're all workhorses. The classic 770 Pros are famously rugged. They're super simple, they're no frills, but they last forever. And as I say, I've been throwing these in my bag for the past 10 to 15 years. These DT1770 Pros have the same ruggedness, but they just feel premium across the board. You've got metal parts, you've got the plush ear pad, you have the detachable cable as well, and they just feel like a more premium upgraded product in every aspect. Let's have a look at how comfortable these headphones are then. I don't sit and mix in headphones all day long, so when I do have some headphones on, I want it to be a comfortable experience. My old 770s are pretty lightweight and they're super comfortable. I can't say that I've ever had any real issues with them, even when I've worn them for extended amounts of time. In comparison, the 1770 Pros are heavier and clamp onto your head a little bit tighter, but the ear pads are ridiculously plush, and although they're a similar kind of velour material to the classic 770s, you kind of feel like cushions around your ears. Honestly though, for longer focused listening or mix sessions, I've just found them really comfortable over the last month or so. Okay, so we've gone through what they sound like, we've also talked a bit about the comfort of wearing them, but where would they fit in your workflow? As I've said, these 770s are a great option if you're looking for a tracking headphone, especially if you are recording guitars or drums or loud sources. Like, they sound exciting and they feel energetic. These DT1770 Pros can handle tracking sessions just as well as the classic 770s, but where they really come into their own is when we start thinking about critical listening scenarios. Like, they're fantastic for extended detailed listening sessions and for mixing. If you're making headphone based mix decisions, then these really are leagues ahead of the 770s. They bridge the gap between a tracking headphone and a reference tool. So how much is a pair of these going to set you back? They are significantly more expensive than a set of DT 770s, as these come in at about 3 times the cost. But honestly, given the improvements in the sound detail in these headphones, how versatile they are with that new Tesla 45 driver, meaning that they can pretty much be used in any environment for a whole variety of scenarios, and how rugged they are and like the premium build quality, I think that price is fully justified. You're not just getting a tracking headphone here, you're getting a headphone that can also be relied upon for serious mixing. So to wrap things up, if you're just looking for a pair of headphones for tracking with and like the sound of your DT 770s, you're probably not going to run out and upgrade anytime soon. If you're looking for a headphone that's going to take you into serious critical listening territory with more accuracy and clarity, then the DT1770 Pro MkII is a big step up and is definitely going to be a worthwhile investment. A big thanks to Polar UK for sending these out to me. Please go and check out their website using the link in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please remember the golden rule of YouTube and give the video a like. If you'd like to see more from me in the future, then subscribe to my channel. Very soon I'll be uploading some videos showing how this whole studio was designed and then built from the ground up.